What is the real cost of living in Santo Domingo? What's going to be the actual cost breakdown? What are you looking at month to month that you're going to actually be paying for everything? So that way you can have an idea of how much you're going to spend every year. And I want to just break this down so people can have the full picture of what they're going to spend. So that's going to be the topic of this video. So I want to start off by just going off of rent, right? I already did a video talking about rent prices, and depending on what kind of rental property that you're going to get here, that's going to differentiate, obviously, but we're just going to talk about a modest apartment of around $300, and we're going to start there. So let's say that you get you a modest apartment for $300, and that's what you're paying every single month. Now, what are the additional costs that you're going to have to factor into that, so that way you can have an understanding of how much you're actually going to spend? Well, we know that you're also going to have to pay for lights. Now, if you don't have air conditioning, which I'm pretty sure people are going to want to have air conditioning, they want all their luxury, but if you don't have air conditioning, you can get away with just having a bill for $20 a month just for your light bill. So your light's not going to be expensive. Now, even if you did have air conditioning in your home, with one air conditioning unit, and you left it running, your bill would be about $100 max. Maybe a little bit more depending on the size of the unit it is, but around $100 a month. So if we're going to include the unit plus the rent, now we're at $400 a month. Now, on top of that, obviously, you're going to have a phone. You got to be able to communicate with people, right? So if you're looking to get you a phone plan here, you get you a Dominican SIM card, you're looking at a plan of about $25 to $30 a month. We're just going to go with the high end, and we're going to say $30. And that's going to get you unlimited everything, unlimited calling, unlimited text, and that's going to get you 5G internet, so everything's going to be fast, you can stream and everything else, and that's just going to be for your phone. Now, on top of that, let's say you also want to have internet at your home, you want to have Wi-Fi. So we factor in the cost of, let's say, 100 megabytes, right, which is a pretty decent speed. 100 megabytes, you can pretty much do anything that you want on that Wi-Fi system, and it's not going to be freezing or anything like that on you. And you're looking at an additional $40 a month. So right there with your home, the rent that you're paying, the lights, your phone bill, and then your Wi-Fi, you're looking at $470. Right? Now let's go ahead and just round that up, $30, and we're just going to say $500. I'm doing this on the top of my head, so it'll make it easier for me to add this all up. So we're going to stop right there and put that at $500. So now we're at $500. Now let's say you got your apartment, but you have to put your appliances and things in there. Now you can get you furniture, and you can get you a set for about $300, and that's gonna come with maybe two like couches, and then an actual table that can go in your living room. That's $300 there. Then you gotta get a stove. That's gonna be $200. So we're looking at another $500. Then, if you don't have an inverter, you're going to have to get your inverter, which is about another $500. So right there, we're looking at, what is that, $2,500? And that's for moving in, and that's for setting up everything, right? And that gives you your stove, that gets you your inverter, that gets you some furniture in there. Now, also for a bed, if you're looking to get a bed, obviously you're going to need it. You can get a bed mattress for about $200. So now we're at $2,200, I believe. Now, all your decorations and stuff like that, we can just go ahead and price that up another $200. And we're going to say now you're at $2,400. But we can't forget the refrigerator. And I know you want to get a nice refrigerator. You want it to be brand new, so you're looking at about another $200. So now we are at $2,600 so far. Now, with that $2,600, we've got most of the essentials in the house. Normally, water's included, so that's not going to be an extra charge that you're going to have to actually pay. Now, I believe that pretty much gets all the basics in your home for what you're going to need. You're going to have your lights, you're going to have a bed, you're going to have your furniture, your TV and stuff like that. That's just going to be extra cost. You can add that in. But again, we'll just go ahead and round up, and that's going to put you at about $3,000. Plus the 2 months extra of rent that you have to pay in order for you to actually get into your apartment, your deposits, which would be an additional $600. So we're looking at $3,600. So, coming to Santo Domingo and you're coming to live, $3,600 would get you an apartment, would get you your light bill started, would get you your phone bill, that would also get you your internet, that would get you your stove, that would get you your bed, it would get you your furniture, it'll get you your refrigerator, and it'll also get you your inverter. So you're already looking at, man, if you're trying to get you a place in the United States for $3,600, that's just your rent and your security deposit, right? So you're already doing a lot. You know, you're advancing here and you're getting a lot done with a little bit of money. So $3,600 and your home is going to be set up. Now, that is just to get you set up. Now, let's talk about what it's going to take for you spending wise for you to sustain yourself as far as food, your transportation, and just entertainment as well. So food here is relatively cheap if you're going to be cooking at home and, you know, making stuff at home, making like meals with rice and things like that, making maybe chicken or something, salads, anything like that that you can make at the house. That's going to lower your expenses. Now, what happens is if you go out and you want to go to Burger King, you want to go to this restaurant, you want Popeyes, you want Pizza Hut, you want Steakhouse, you want all these things and restaurants that are out there. If you're single, that's okay because it's just you. But obviously, if it's not just you, that's going to rack up your bill. But I'm saying that that's going to be more expensive. So let's say that you just wanted to make groceries, right? If you wanted to make groceries for one person, you could spend about $300 in groceries, and that would give you enough food for you to eat for the entire month. And that's just for one person. And that's eating good, like really good. So you can already factor that in every single month if you're actually getting food for you to cook every single day. Now you can spend that same $300 and you can eat out every day too. It just depends on how you really want to do that. As far as transportation, now if you are doing InDrive or Uber in Santo Domingo compared to other towns and cities here in this country is a lot cheaper when it comes to transportation. So for example, going from the Avenida de España to Blue Mall, for me, that would only be about 350 pesos, sometimes less, if I can find a driver that will accept less, but that's only $5. So for a trip downtown and back to Santo Domingo Este, you're looking at paying $5. So that right there is $10 for one trip. Now, if you're making 10 trips in a month, that's $100. If you're making 20 trips, that's $200. And if you're making 30 trips, that's $300. So you can see how it racks up the more that you move around and the more that you do. And that's what I kind of want people to understand, that when you live here, it's different than being on vacation. When you're actually living here in Santo Domingo, you kind of got to treat it like you're at home. Because even though you're here, and I know people might say it looks like you're on vacation because it does, but you can't treat it like that. Some days, some weeks, you might have to just stay in the house. You know, you have to try your best to not spend over your budget, because you have to establish a budget when you're here. Otherwise, you're going to go over that budget and then you're going to spend all of your money. The whole point of taking advantage of the cost of living in Santo Domingo is for you to use that leverage to get ahead, especially if you're making dollars. So that's the main long-term goal. So don't lose sight of that if you come here to Santo Domingo and you're trying to stay here long term. Yes, there's a lot to do, but take advantage of that. Take 6 months, take a year, and really just take it easy and put money back. Obviously you can go out on the weekends and stuff like that, but Monday through Friday, you can stay at home or just spend less. So that way you can actually take advantage of the actual low cost of living here, so that way in the future you can get ahead. You can save so much money here if you look at it that way. Instead of coming and saying everything's so cheap, let me just spend. What's going to happen is you're just going to spend everything and then you're going to end up low on money. And that's one of my biggest regrets. And it took me having that experience to actually knuckle down and put myself on a budget.